5G set to steal $4 trillion in business by 2030 from AWS, Azure, and GCP. The IRS looking to better tax cloud internationally. Announcements from VMware conference, and so much more. So much that this might be the most we've ever crammed into such a short segment. Join me as I go over all the major announcements in the last month in the cloud space. Hi, I'm Matt Carolan, and welcome to our September edition of Puck Online, bringing you a quick summary of all the major news and events for the public cloud space. Every month, we'll come to you online in video, podcast, blog form, as well as in-person event every quarter in Vancouver, Canada. Today, I'm broadcasting from the Vancouver Public Library in downtown. Lots of cloud news to cover this month, so let's get into it. Starting off with a news story I thought was an interesting read, which you can find in the link below. It's concerning how the big three cloud providers are concerned that 5G networks might make their edge data centers obsolete due to the power of data processing returning to the end user device. I say returning because I've joked for some time that IT has become like a fashion cycle. We had mainframes which were connected to dumb terminals where the data was stored on the mainframe central data center. Then we moved to personal PCs where a lot of our data became local. Then we went back to central servers in data centers and cloud. And I thought next it would be our devices having quantum processing, moving the data to be local. But it turns out it might be as simple as faster 5G networks. In the US, two Democrat senators have asked the US Defense Secretary whether an outside influence caused the Pentagon to delay or cancel the Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure Cloud Contract, JEDI. The senators addressed their concerns in a letter, which they also released publicly. If you haven't been following it, the JEDI contract is worth $10 billion, which other cloud providers have been fighting to be reconsidered. This note comes after the Pentagon announced on August 1st that it was delaying the contract, whose top contenders was Amazon, until the Defense Secretary can review it. The decision raised concerns as it came 2 weeks after the President Trump, who frequently attacks Amazon, said he would be looking very seriously at the contract. The Cloud Security Alliance released its top threats to cloud computing, and the report revealed some of the top cloud security risks. These include data breaches, misconfiguration, and inadequate change controls, lack of cloud security architecture and strategy, and more. You can request a copy of the report using the link below. And keeping on the topic of security, researchers have developed an automated system called Skywalker that strengthens mobile app security by scanning both cloud servers and software library systems. The researchers found over 1,600 vulnerabilities in servers supporting mobile apps, which are often operated by cloud hosting services. The apps that they looked for were in Google's Play Store's top 5,000 apps. No one until now seems to have been looking at the security of the servers which support mobile apps, except the developers of the apps, I hope. So this is obviously a good first step that is well overdue and hopefully adopted by marketplace providers like Apple and Google. And there is an interesting read on the link below from the National Law Review concerning what the IRS in the US is looking to do with proposed regulations concerning federal income tax treatment of cross-border cloud transactions. The last time they addressed anything like this was back in 1998 with regards to taxation of cross-border digital content, which applied to software transfers. Data processing and analytics company Splunk has purchased cloud monitoring service SignalFX for $1.05 billion. SignalFX is a cloud monitoring service that allows users to collect and analyze data from infrastructure microservices and applications. According to Splunk, the deal will help place the company as a leader in monitoring and observing at massive scale. The acquisition is expected to finalize in the second half of 2020. Some of the leading cloud service providers have teamed up to create a new initiative dedicated to improving cloud security. Google Cloud, Microsoft, Alibaba Cloud, IBM, Red Hat, Baidu, Intel, Red Hat, Swisscom, ARM, and Tensor launched the Confidential Computing Conservatorium at the Linux Foundation's Open Source Summit. According to the group, it is a community that aims to promote industry-wide security standards and advance computational trust. In VMware news, there was a lot this month around VMware due to their VMware conference in San Francisco. VMware's hybrid cloud extension, HCX, application mobility software, is now open to non-vSphere customers. As a result, customers can now move non-vSphere and increased amounts of on-premise application workloads to various cloud services. It is one of many updates this latest release of the company's hybrid cloud extension, HCX, boasts. VMware also announced it will buy 2 software developers for nearly $5 billion collectively. Executives at VMware said that it has agreed to purchase the cybersecurity firm Carbon Black for $2.1 billion and the cloud management vendor Pivotal for $2.7 billion. In a tandem, the acquisitions will help VMware customers write, test, launch, and protect their cloud applications. The move continues VMware's year-long buying spree that included Bitnami, a developer of cloud applications. As well, VMware has purchased application runtime security startup Intrinsic. As a result of the purchase, VMware will now be able to secure serverless functions on AWS and Azure, as well as GCP. The company didn't disclose the terms of the deal or how much it acquired Intrinsic for. And VMware teamed up with heavyweights NVIDIA with their announcement that their development of a hybrid cloud for AWS designed to optimize machine learning, AI, and data science workflows. The solution can operate either from the cloud or on-site servers. In Alibaba news, despite increased US-China tensions, Alibaba reported a better-than-expected quarterly revenue and profit for this first quarter, which ended June 30th. Since last year, the Chinese company's revenue shot up 42% to $16.32 billion. Experts predict its revenue would increase to about $15.87 billion. Its cloud computing revenue particularly increased by 66% to $1.1 billion. Alibaba's consumer units have released an operating system for retailers. Experts say this will add more leading supermarkets and stores into their ecosystem. Already 10,000 supermarkets and at least 200,000 retail chain outlets have adopted the platform. In Google's GCP news, Google has released Cloud Security Scanner for Google Kubernetes Engine and Compute Engine, which allows users to scan for vulnerabilities early in the development process. And in a little concerning news, over 676 Google employees have signed a petition demanding the tech giant abstain from pursuing a cloud computing contract with the US Customs and Border Protection. In a letter published on Medium, Google has accused immigration officials of perpetrating a system of abuse and neglect. At the border, workers also urged the company not to offer its services to CBP or the US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and the Office of Refugee Resettlement until they stop engaging in human rights abuses. And Google has released the single-click option Cloud Run button. It is essentially an image or a link developers can add to their READMEs in their repositories that users can then click on to deploy your app to the Google Cloud Platform using Cloud Run. In Oracle Cloud news, Oracle has revealed it will soon be opening locations in Mumbai, India, Sao Paulo in Brazil, and Sydney, Australia, and Zurich, Switzerland. Oracle will be launching its first Generation 2 cloud data center in Australia this month. While the cloud giant has other data centers in the country, these are shared ones, and thus this Sydney data center will be the first completely operated by Oracle. The new center is part of Oracle's greater goal to have 19 Generation 2 cloud data center regions live by the end of 2019. Oracle will also be launching others in Mumbai, Zurich, and Palo Alto this month, opening another Australian data center in Melbourne in early 2020. Oracle has announced the general availability of its Oracle Functions and events on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Technology. Oracle Functions is a managed function-as-a-service cloud service based on the open source FN project, which provides a fully managed serverless platform for Oracle Cloud users. For IBM Cloud, anticipating the proliferation of quantum computers, IBM is planning to offer quantum-safe cryptography on its public cloud platform beginning next year. The cryptography uses an algorithm that is resistant to attacks from both the more powerful quantum computers as well as standard computers that are now dominant in the retail market. For Amazon AWS news, AWS almost doubled its footprint in the UK market, turning over £850 million last year, or about $1 billion US. Amazon announced its managed blockchain platform. The company's blockchain management system now supports AWS CloudFormation. You can create new blockchain networks, define network configurations, create a member, join an existing network, as well as describe member and network details such as voting policies. Also, AWS is setting up data centers in Israel for the first time. It will be the third location to join AWS's CloudFront Edge infrastructure in the Middle East, with the other two located in Dubai and Fujairah in the UAE. The move is part of AWS's greater goal to set up data centers in as many as 9 countries. And AWS Lake Formation, a service that lets customers quickly build, secure, and manage a data lake, is now generally available. And also an interesting one was that Amazon has published on their blog, which you can see in the link below, details on how it dealt with Prime Day 2019, with some awe-inducing statistics. For example, the tech giant revealed how Alexa, Amazon.com, and its 442 fulfillment centers made 7.11 trillion calls to the DynamoDB API. And in some bad news for Amazon, overheating servers at the Japanese data center for AWS left thousands of companies without access to the cloud Friday afternoon. The glitch was discovered shortly after noon on August 23rd, and the service was not fully restored for 9 hours. The disruption was the largest of its kind in the AWS Japanese region. In Microsoft Azure news, Microsoft announced it is launching the Azure Security Lab. The lab provides cloud hosts created just for security researchers to test attacks against cloud scenarios. They have new scenarios-based challenges with additional bounty awards of up to $300,000 in the Azure Security Lab. Throughout the year, more than $2 million of the scenario bounty rewards will be offered to Azure Security Lab participants. The tech giant also revealed it has increased the top Azure bug bounty to $40,000. And Microsoft is dropping the price of its Azure Archive storage offerings by up to 50%. The discount is effective immediately, but is only available to some of the 29 regions that support the tier. Microsoft has launched a new private cloud server service in Azure called the Azure Dedicated Host. The Azure Dedicated Host is great for businesses who want to store data on a server but doesn't want to share it with other servers. This practice prevents chances of data leaks, which could make or break a company's plan or upcoming product. The Azure platform already offers isolated virtual machines, which does similar job, but this dedicated host does it better, more efficient, and has more storage for it. The Azure Dedicated Host will support computers that run Windows, SQL Server, and Linux. And in what I would personally call a surprising move for Microsoft, since they have become so open to other platforms in recent years, Microsoft has introduced on-premise license restrictions that are sparking controversy. Starting October 1st, customers will be restricted from deploying dedicated hosted cloud services offered by public cloud providers, Microsoft, Alibaba, Amazon, and Google. If on-premise licenses are purchased without software assurance and mobility rights, customers will have to pay additional fees if they want to run its software on Alibaba, Amazon, and Google. Executives from both Amazon and Google have criticized Microsoft for the move. Shelfware, complex pricing, and now vendor lock-in. Microsoft is taking its greatest hits from the 90s to the cloud, tweeted Google's cloud president Robert Ilson. And Microsoft has started to phase out its basic edition of Azure Active Directory, with it also no longer available for purchase. And researchers at the Black Hat 2019 conference showed how a Windows system flaw could expose Azure users to attack by allowing for arbitrary code execution on Hyper-V. And Microsoft has released the public preview of a new data redundancy type for Azure Block Blob Storage, GeoZone Redundant Storage, which will provide a good balance of high performance, high availability, and disaster recovery. And on the shopping spree, Microsoft has purchased JClarity, a leading contributor to the Adopt Open JDK project, for an undisclosed amount. The deal is expected to strengthen Microsoft's improving performance of Java workloads. The CEO for the startup announced Tuesday that the company is making its blockchain platform available for free on Microsoft Azure, enabling companies to process up to 2,000 transactions per second on a cloud-based ledger. The giveaway is intended as a starter kit that will generate business for the company as users of the free blockchain technology begin to scale up. The startup made its software available for free to users of AWS earlier this year. Microsoft at the end of August announced its availability of its cloud platform in 2 regions within Switzerland. The launch brings the total number of regions worldwide for Azure to 56. And they have acquired the startup Mover to help customers more easily migrate their data from on-site infrastructure to cloud. Mover's technology helps IT administrators better understand how to retrieve and manage data in the cloud. And on Monday last week, they announced the launch of its new Azure cloud region in Germany. The opening of the data center ensures that Microsoft customers are in compliance with the European regulators, which require that data stored on third-party servers cannot be exported outside of the EU. In addition to Azure, they're also providing Office 365 services as well as Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. So in wrap up, for all items we are hosting like meetups, podcasts and blogs, see www.publiccloud.ninja. The next event in Vancouver will be September 25th on the topic of cloud security. So make sure you go to the website meetup.com/publiccloud to RSVP if you wish to attend in person and become a member so that you get notified once details of any events go live. And this episode was made possible by Scalar Decisions, a leading Canadian IT solution provider focused on security, infrastructure, and cloud. And also NetApp, who are a hybrid cloud data service and data management company. Unlike many companies of their age, they have not fallen behind the times and have been doing cloud on Azure and AWS for many years. Where I often see them fitting for cloud solutions is either for hybrid data across on-premise and cloud, for example when AWS storage gateway limitations and speed hold you back, and also for storage in Azure and AWS, when you need greater performance than what the native storage offers. But there are many other reasons to use them. These are just the common use cases I come across quite often. So check out their website on netapp.com. So if you think we've missed anything, let us know in the comments section. Our next episode will be in a month's time, so make sure you subscribe. Till then, keep challenging yourself.